Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Today we're going to take a look at, a champion in Drexthar Bloodtwin. And first of all, can I just start this video out by saying, why isn't his brother, Untitled Bloodtwin, in Drexthar? Why don't they have a little champion synergy? They're brothers, they have the same surname, and they don't even have anything to go with each other. Why not add a little bit of synergy to those champions?
I'm Vincent's brother.
We're twins.
That's right.
Anyway, I digress. Today we're going to talk about Drexthar Bloodtwin, a great champion, not an average champion, not a slightly below average and niche champion as he was before Doom Tower. Now that he is S tier against 4 out of the 6 Doom Tower bosses, he is one of the best and most sought after legendaries in the game. And maybe, just maybe, sought after is not the right verbiage that I'm looking for here, because you know what? Everybody can have him. You don't need to pull him. You just play, you force yourself to play a little tag team arena. You go in that bazaar, and after 100, 200 days, whatever it's going to take you to farm enough gold bars, you can one by one collect enough champion fragments. And I say that as if it's like a crappy thing. I think it's an amazing thing. I wish they would add more champions like Drexthar Bloodtwin to the bazaar and give, access eventually. Give us something to work on the side. To me, it's kind of, it's better than another Arbiter mission, right? This one, at least you can go at your own pace and stuff like that. So I actually really like this. I love that they added him. It's a very good champion now that everybody eventually can unlock. So I'm big fan of having him in the bazaar. It gives you a reason to play tag team arena, right? Other than clan versus clan tournaments. If they bring those back next week, we'll see. So anyway, let's do a proper guide on this champion. Today is going to be what I feel is the best all-around builds for Drexthar Bloodtwin. We're going to show you him in Spider. Going to show you him in Doom Tower as well. I'm going to show you a free-to-play team or two, and then the teams that I use on Doom Tower Hard using Drexthar as well. And as I mentioned, I'm not going to belabor the point here, but I'm going to mention it one more time, is that not just, free-to-play players who have access to Drexthar, those aren't the players using him. It's everybody. The fastest teams in the world against a lot of these Doom Tower bosses are using Drexthar Bloodtwin. So he's one of the best champions out there, okay? So skills. A lot of people didn't talk about this a lot, but we saw 6 months ago when they introduced Lydia, we saw a big buff also to Drexthar Bloodtwin. Trying to pull it up right now, and I don't have it handy. Shame on you, Ash. Shame on you. Well, I can tell you from memory, right? His A2 used to be a 4-turn cooldown when booked. It was a 5-turn, then you booked it down to a 4-turn. Now it's a 3-turn. Makes it extremely more viable with the 50% chance per provoke. On his A3, it used to just be 55% chance to place an HP burn for 2 turns on the attacker when he's hit. Now they added this champion's resistance increases by 10 for every enemy under HP burn, so an extra 50 resist, which is actually important on this champion. We'll talk about that in a minute. On his A1 though, a 3-time hitter. By the way, just as kind of a side note on his A1, very low multipliers, talking about a 1 multiplier on defense on each hit. That's low, aka he's not putting a lot of damage out on his A1 unless you have Giant Slayer. Talk about that in just a moment. We talk about Masteries. But this used to be damage based on defense and attack. I hate when that happens, man. It's like, I don't know, you stick them together, it's like a paradox, You don't want the defense and attack, you just want one or the other, right? So they made it just defense, and now all his abilities are nice and clean, all based on defense. A pretty easy champion to build, but this is one of those champions, you have so many options. Again, this build right here with Lifesteal Gear is going to be I feel like the best all-around build, okay? So Masteries, but there are a lot of ways to build this champ depending on where you're using him. So Masteries, you have so many options here, right? You can go offense, you can grab your Giant Slayer, right? Your tier 6. You can go defense, you can grab Retribution, having the 50% chance to counterattack when he loses 25% of their max HP from a single enemy skill is going to help him heal himself back up, right? Very important, because a lot of times we're running him against anti-affinity, running him into spirit champion bosses or mobs. And then some people go Unshakable as a tier 6 mastery to get that resist up. Now, why do you want resist on this champion, Ash? Who cares? Easy. A lot of people, especially, this is kind of the old school build running Unshakable on this champion, right? And a resist banner on him. We'll talk about those options when we get to artifacts. But people used to run him with resist banners and Unshakable as a tier 6 mastery against Spider, right? Having around a 300 resist on this champion is going to allow him to tank into anti-affinity and be able to resist almost all the sleeps and poisons of the Spider, okay? But now I personally fear him too. Why not, right?
Would I rather be feared or loved? Easy, both.
You can get by with around 150 to 250 accuracy and still, or resist, and still be fine on Spider 20. So I don't like to go either with the resist banner or with the Unshakable mastery. However, I've given you the information. You decide what to do with it. If you want to go that route, I've certainly by all means do so. And support tree. A lot of people choose to go with a resist banner and go Eagle Eye mastery instead and get the extra accuracy. He also has an accuracy aura, which we'll talk about in just a second. So a lot of options. I would be remiss if I didn't point out Sniper too. It's tough. You're really deciding between Giant Slayer, Retribution, and Sniper. Like, in my mind, those are the 3 best masteries for this champion. So you have to make that tough decision. Sniper is really good because it gives you an extra 5% on his HP burns. And if we go again back to his HP burn abilities on his passive, it's 55%. Of course, that can be booked up to 75%, but then it bumps it all the way to 80 again. So 55, 65, 75, and then 80% when it's fully booked if you have that Sniper. Right, and also on his A1, attacks one enemy 3 times, has a 30% chance of HP burn. That's going to be bumped up to 35%, right? And Burning Lash is A2. It's an AoE attack that has a 60% chance of placing a provoke for 1 turn, okay? So only 60, not a guarantee or anything like that. I believe that might have been buffed too, maybe not though. The chance increases to 100% if the target is under a burn already. Also places a decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. If the provoke debuff is placed, just keep in mind here, guys, if you do end up going with the Sniper ability, it's not going to apply to your provoke. And obviously the decreased attack is already 100% chance of landing if you place that provoke. So we've kind of already talked about his kit, but essentially this dude is an HP burn machine. He's an HP burn machine with a nice provoke as well. You'd love it to be 100%, but again, he's bringing enough to the table where it's okay. And that passive is just money, man. He's always keeping that HP burn on the enemies very often because they're going to be attacking him often because they're under HP burn. Great against any boss that has ads, right? So on the aura, increase ally accuracy in all battles by 70. That gives you so much flexibility. 70 accuracy, especially in progression, but really no matter where you are in the game, is a game changer, man. It's a game changer. A lot of people opt to build him with that defense or that resist banner. It's not the build that we're showing today, but it gives you some flexibility because then you can run him as your team aura lead, okay? So again, do not be afraid. If you're looking at any of your teams and you're like, I just don't have a good aura lead. I mean, talking about good, this is one of the best accuracy auras in the game. Already on a great champion. So a lot of people are going to be running him as their team lead. Do not, shy away of taking advantage of that, okay? So we talked about all the ways you can build him. In terms of stat priorities, guys, obviously defense. I'm just going to tell you guys, this is kind of a light HP, a light-ish defense build. I have defense percentage on the chest. I have defense on the ring, but that's kind of about it in terms of focusing mainly on defense. I focus more on speed, on crit rate, and of course on accuracy. So those are what I prioritize here. I have his resist actually at 224. That's a nice healthy number against Spider 20. We'll see when Spider 25 comes out in a few months what that looks like. But great. This build, that I have right now with Lifesteal Gear on him is basically going to be perfect for Spider and also for Doom Tower bosses. That's why I love it so much. I did make a sacrifice again, I will reiterate, on the defense. Now against Clan Boss, I'm not going to show you guys with him on Clan Boss, but he's actually not bad for progression. The HP burn mixed with the 3 hits with Giant Slayer actually does add up on his A1. You don't see him end game meta for Clan Boss. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys, but for progression, he's a great damage dealer option for you guys. All right, so Lifesteal Gear obviously synergizes very well. A lot of provoking going on. He's going to be attacked quite a bit. He does have the heal on his A1 again. Heals his champion by 20% of the damage inflicted if the target is under HP burn, but he needs a little bit more unless you have an amazing support team around him. So definitely a great choice going Lifesteal on this champion, okay? Crit rate on the gauntlets, defense on the chest, speed on the boots. We went, again, accuracy. You can also go resist. You can also go defense. You have some flexibility, but I'm really looking for speed as a substat on my banner. And then crit damage with accuracy as a substat is what I'm looking for on my amulet. And we already talked about the ring defense, 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 defense. So there we go, guys. That is the build. A very good build on this champion. Very good build for a very good champion. Let's show you him in Spider first, guys. I assembled kind of a... I don't know if it's, I guess a semi-free-to-play-ish friendly team. We have Armiger, we have Apothecary, we do have Reliquary Tender, who is a Void, and then we have the two kind of daily login reward and Fragment Summon champion. The spotlight of today's video is, of course, Drexthar. I'm running Drexthar in the lead just to kind of show that you can run him in the lead, but I guess I don't need the accuracy here because his accuracy is quite high enough. So we're going to run Apothecary in the lead instead. No reason to, belabor the point here again on the accuracy lead. We'll be running him and lead on the Doom Tower battles. So this team, like how it works here, let me make myself a little bit smaller. You don't need to see me. You guys know me. I'm always going to find a way. If there's a will, there's a way to include Syl the Drix in my video. And Reliquary too. Why not? My two ladies. All right. I'm feeling good. What am I talking about anyway? Oh, we're talking about this team. So how does it work? Well, it's easy. We're not trying to put a bunch of nukers with Drexthar Bloodtwin. I mean, you do see some hybrid teams. It's not the end of the world. Hey, if it works, right? So running like a Royal Guard or something or a Cold Tower on this team, not the end of the world. But the idea here is we keep all these Spiderlings alive, right? We don't do that. We don't kill them all like that, right? So it's not going to be the fastest team in the world, but we're keeping these Spiderlings alive. Nice to have a stun champion, Syl the Drix, miscreated monster, stun all those Spiderlings, put all the HP burn on them, put the provoke on them as well, and then just have the rest of the team all kind of geared up towards doing a little bit of damage to the spider and towards keeping Drexthar Bloodtwin, who will be naturally tanking for your team anyway, keeping him alive. So you guys can see here, eventually things will get going, and eventually all those HP burns will start ticking, even if he should die. See, he's resisting a lot of those poisons, but not all of them, right? Because 225, again, 300 is that number you're looking for if you want to resist everything. But it doesn't matter. We have a cleanser in Reliquary Tender on the team. We have a couple healers on Syl the Drix and Reliquary Tender on the team. And we have Apothecary as well for the spot heals. So even if we do die, we have two revivers on the team as well. And I'll stop saying their names over and over and over again. So we're kind of getting into the swing of things, here, guys. You can see all those ticks going off. None of the spiders are dying. Instead, all that damage is starting to add up to the spider. And everybody on my side is staying healthy. Everybody is targeting Drexthar. That's cool. No worries there. So what I'm going to do is, you guys get the point. I'm going to come back at you guys when the spider's health is like right over here. Because now it's just going to tick away slowly but sure. Actually, quickly but surely, right? Look at all that HP burning the spider to death here. Be right back at the end of this one. All right, guys, look at this. The end of the battle here. The end of the battle. And you might be asking me, Ash, dude, I mean, great team and all, but why did it take almost 5 minutes? Well, two words you can add on to a team like this: heal reduction, right? So if I had a heal reduction champion, that would have cut the time in half. But either way, it gets the job done. We'll sell this banner. You can see Drexthar put in a clean, cool 10 million damage. No big deal. And those heals were just the Lifesteal Gear healing himself up. The rest of the team kind of there just to support Drexthar, right? Let's go into the Doom Tower. So again, where are you using this guy? Pretty much as I would say like progression, Dragon's Lair, Fire Knight if you want the triple hitter on the A1, but he's far from a Fire Knight specialist though. But Spider's Den in terms of the traditional dungeons is really where we're mainly using this dude, right? But Dragon's Lair is fine as well. Okay, let's go to Doom Tower. So what I want to do is kind of just work my way up here. You'll see that on I'm not going to show you my hard team, my final floor team of hard Doom Tower. I'll show you the team, but I'm not going to.
Are you okay?
For you guys, because it took me 123 turns. If you look at the best teams in the world, again, you'll see a lot. Drexthar is like on every team almost. He's on so many teams, and you can see it's a combination in the end game meta here of just kind of longer, like what I do on auto, right? Like the team that I just showed you. A bunch of support around Drexthar, as much support as you can get. Having a counterattack champion in Martyr, really, really advantageous. Having obviously the HP burner, Drexthar doing your main damage, and then just having support essentially around him. Having ally attack is still very popular as well in a lot of teams, so you see a lot of Kreela as well. I'm going to show you an ally attack team as well, but this is kind of my team here. Again, it's all about basically, look at it, right? It's about keeping Drexthar healing himself through the counterattack on his A1 and his retribution, and then everybody else is about reviving and keeping him alive on this team. And that was the final boss, Eternal Dragon. I will show you Eternal Dragon, but I'm not going to show you that battle because I felt like it was a little bit too legendary, void legendary heavy, if you will. So this is the first Celestial Griffin, and again, I'm running him as my team lead. Having that extra accuracy is always helpful, right? Especially if you don't have a better lead on your team, such as this team. So this team, again, it's pretty simple, right? We do have Kreela, Witch Arm on this team because I wanted to show you guys, one option of what an ally attack team against these bosses might look like for you. I figured that Kreela was a fragment summon, so she's probably the best option to choose considering I don't have Lady Atessa or Catacomb Counselor built in terms of epic options. If you'd like me to build those champions, I have them both. I'm more than happy to do a guide for you guys on both those champions. And I got chocolate like all over my desk in front of me.
Nice.
Late night chocolate binge while I'm recording today's video. So here we go. Actually, you know what? Why don't I just move myself way over here? Why don't I just move myself over here and stare at my wall pretending I'm staring at the battle? Hey, wall. Anyway, here we go, guys. So you can see the team, right? I love this team. Why do I have Fennex? I talked about Fennex in my yesterday's video where I talk about the last 15 champions that I maxed out. Who do I like? Who don't I like? Who do I use and where do I use them? Well, one of those champions, again, was Fennex. He has the second hardest hitting A1, second hardest in terms of multipliers, in terms of sheer damage output in the game, and he's an epic champion. So he's a fantastic champion to put on the same team as a Kreela Witch Arm, as a Catacomb Counselor, as a Nekret the Great, as a Lenicus the Chosen, as a Longbeard. Okay, I'm probably naming a lot of them. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few too. So he's hitting very hard with his A1. So I use Fennex and I use Turvold. Why do I use Fennex and why do I use Turvold? When I have another debuffer on my team, I'll use Turvold. When I need someone to drop a decreased speed and a decreased defense, I run Fennex. He has it on his A3 on a 4-turn cooldown, I believe, but it's, 2 out of every 4 turns is not bad. And you guys can see how this team works. We have HP burn. We have Drexthar in there kind of sort of tanking. I think everything's an AoE anyway, but he's putting out a lot of damage. You guys will see even with the damage, even with Drexthar, anti-affinity here, again, Spirit versus Force. This is my kind of very, very good team, right? And he still puts out what? He still puts out 600,000 damage, able to keep himself alive, and Fennex puts out 852. Like I said, Fennex is really a beast. Very underrated champion. He's one of those champions that I kind of built, had him in the vault forever, and I was like, wow, this guy's like really good. Let me go a little bit higher though here. Let's go Nether. Look at this team I used against floor 70 hard Nether Spider. I hate that I have Raglan in here. I should probably take her out and try to use something else. Let's put in Doom Priest instead. I think that team will work out just fine. And this is a fun team because, let me go into the battle and I'll talk about why it works, right? Like the type of synergy behind a team like this. We have Raz and Scarhide, who's going to be just, mostly single target damage onto the boss. We have a Doom Priest to, cleanse the poisons. We have Wretched Wrath for revival, for heals. We have Reliquary Tender for cleanse and for heals and for revival as well. And then we have Drexthar with an AoE provoke, and everything else is just A1ing into the spider. So basically, we're not going to be disrupting or messing around in any way with the spiderlings. They're just gonna stay there chilling. No one's gonna be attacking them. No one's gonna be doing anything to them other than burning them to death, right? And thus burning the spider to death. And that's how the team works. I'm gonna come back at you guys when we're actually at the spider. All right, guys, so we're here at the spider. I have somebody in a shield set here. Oh, I have, what's her face? Doom Priest in a shield set. So HP burn, you can see on all the spiderlings. Exactly how we want it. Doom Priest doing her thing, getting rid of all those poisons. What's poison sensitivity if you have no poisons on you? Who cares, right? And we have the cleanse anyway by Reliquary Tender. This is a really solid team, and again, we're just letting Drexthar's HP burns do all the heavy lifting here, right? He's gonna put out an insane amount of damage, but like a pretty easy battle when it's on Magic Affinity against the Nether Spider, because all you have to do is just build support around Drexthar. The rest, HP burn will do all the work for you guys. Again, we're not even worrying about stunning. You can run a Seal the Drakes on this team as well. Instead of Doom Priest, instead of Reliquary Tender, it will still work. If you don't have either of those, options, you can run a Vrask on a team like this as well. It will all work, guys. But basically, again, keeping the whole idea, right, is keeping Drexthar, keeping the Spiderlings untouched. Not a big AoE nukers, not a bunch of Royal Guards, not a bunch of whoever's on a team like this, right? Instead, we're just letting the HP burn. You're not going to win any of the least amount of turns contests in your clan, right? But at the end of the day, that's not really what matters. What matters is consistently with a 100% success rate, being able to take these bosses down, not just to advance in Doom Tower, but also to farm up the artifacts, right? And Reliquary Tender looks like she's gonna die here.
So many men have tried to kill me. I don't remember all their names.
No, I take it back. I take it back. She looked like she was going to die until both Doom Priest and Retro Draft got a turn and healed her right back up, or one of those continuous heals went off. I don't know what happened, but either way, she's still alive. She's still standing. So you guys can see how it works here. What I'm going to do is probably just take you to the end of the battle. You don't need to see the entire thing here. You guys get the point, right? Be right back. All right, guys, here approaching the end of the battle. And as I said, this wasn't the fastest battle known to man, but the team is fun, effective, 100% success rate. It works. There it goes. And you can see Drexthar again putting out a cool 7 million, not 700,000 like Razin. Nah, 7 million damage. That's a lot of HP burn, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of a lot of impressive big numbers, look at Rector Droth. 1.3 million in healing. Good God, Rector. Yeah, man. Really good champion. I'm almost tempted to do a Doom Priest in Rector Drop, like updated guides, because they're so good as well. Listen, I'll show you guys the final boss. Those of you who want to go ahead and tune out here, I don't blame you. Thank you so much for watching. Those of you who want to, stay on this train, let's go ahead and do it. So we have Godseeker Aniri, who has two amazing abilities. She increases the amount of healing allies received by 10%, and if an ally is about to get killed, boom, she saves them. And she has the revival as well, and she has the heal with the decreased duration of buffs, increased duration of buffs on allies on a 3-turn cooldown. On her A1, she has the heal ally with the lowest HP by 5% of their max HP. So she brings a lot of healing to the table, as does really all of these champions. Again, it's all about keeping this dude, Drexthar, alive here. I was gonna say, I think I run Drexthar as my lead on this team as well, on the final boss, just again for that accuracy boost, but I might not need it. So I'll come back at you guys when I get to the boss. All right, guys, we're getting close to the end of the battle, but this is where things get really, really rocky against this this final boss here. You can see we're gonna lose a lot of the team here. Last time it ended up being Drexthar just soloing things down the end. We need to make sure that he is fresh and healed up before this next big AoE attack goes off. And there it goes, getting a lot of healage off of his A1 there, as you guys can see. And again, the HP burn is doing its thing. Most of the team is dying. Drexthar's still alive. He heals himself back up again off that A1. Here we go. We have 2 HP burns, make it 3 HP burns on the board. And that's gonna be GG's. Boom! The dragon dies at the same time as Drexthar did. Did you see that, guys? All right, well, it was close, but still fun nonetheless. Granted, again, a very unaccessible team. I totally realize that, but we're talking final boss on hard difficulty. So there it goes. Drexthar Bloodtwin really helping me against pretty much all the Doom Tower bosses, guys. Everybody except for Scarab King. So I said 4 out of 6. I really mean 5 out of 6 bosses. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this updated guide on Drexthar Bloodtwin. And again, I'll end the video where I started it. It felt like an hour and a half ago, talking about, let's see some synergy between Inithwi and Drexthar. Let's give them something to go together. They're brothers after all, right? Guys, thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. And as always, take care, guys.